Cowboys are going to win. I feel it.
Shut up.
21-21. It's a tied football game.
Is that 21 and answered? Because didn't we go into the half 21-7?
21-7.
Okay.
I can't see the TV, so you're going to have to keep me updated.
I'll keep you updated, and you just judge by the look on my face. Of course, I've said on the pod I don't think we have a chance at the playoffs, and so I'm kind of okay with losing games. So you don't know what to judge on my face, actually. You don't know what I may be.
It's a valid point.
If the Eagles start coming back, that could be a good thing. But they say this every year, but the next 3 games, the Cowboys always play on Thanksgiving. We invented it. It's ours. And, Jerry.
We actually didn't.
Are you serious?
Serious.
Who did?
The Bears and the Packers.
When?
The Bears and the Lions. I watched a video this week of all kinds of fun, interesting facts about Thanksgiving. That was one of them.
I think fake news.
And the Macy's Day Parade was actually not on Thanksgiving Day originally. And, fun fact, Benjamin Franklin wanted the bird of America to be a turkey.
I knew that one.
Yeah.
I think your other 2 are false, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Okay.
You're probably right. Well, if the Cowboys didn't invent playing on Thanksgiving, we own it. So
that's a fact. That is a fact.
It is 21-21. The Eagles at Dallas. 11:40 left in the fourth quarter. We just kicked back off to the Eagles after scoring. They ran it back down at the 25 or 30.
We love play-by-play on a podcast that's going to be released on Tuesday.
On a non-sports podcast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. While we're not talking about sports, how'd you like the Pickens and Lamb situation out of Vegas? That's what it was. It was sarcasm.
Sorry, I've had a day.
It's okay. Do we need to flush that out today on the podcast?
No.
Okay. We can.
The people that made me have a day are listening on the podcast. So. It's just.
Sorry.
It's been a day.
It's okay.
I like doing the same thing on Sundays. I'm a creature of habit. And part of that is setting up. And we do have, as longtime listeners of the pod are laughing right now. They're like, oh, look, new set. Who dis? It's only the 7th iteration of our podcast set. But, it was a day.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to sit in a chair that swivels.
Oh, you're a mover?
Yeah, because my leg will swivel, and then I'll have to move around, and then my voice will sound like this, and then I'll have to go back, and it'll be really weird on the...
So basically sound like a normal podcast. We've come a long way.
I bet that drives your audio engineer friend crazy.
He does mention it from time to time.
He's like, please tell him to stand in front of the mic all the time.
Yeah. Dadgummit.
But anyways, did you like how Schottenheimer?
I think what I liked about it is like the guys missed curfew. They're in Vegas, and so he had them sit the first series, right? That was the thing. It was a 3-and-out,
as it probably would normally be.
But and it's also a game where it's never guaranteed with the Cowboys, but it's supposed to win,
right?
So there's not as much risk as say having them sit in this game, which was a 4-and-out because we went for it on 4th down on the first series of this game.
Yep.
So, but it's not as much of a risk. But I like that he did it. I like that Pickens and Lamb are out having fun together. I like it when the players, like that's a wide receiver duo that other teams I think should be jealous of.
100%.
A lot of other good teams should be jealous of. Apparently, the Eagles' locker room is just a complete dysfunctional nightmare. No one likes anybody. No one gets along. So when you have a couple players who can go out and have a good time when you're playing in Vegas, they missed curfew. They got punished for it. But then they both scored in that Raiders game. And you see Schottenheimer like dabbing him up and everything. So it's like, yeah, he just punished you. He made you sit out as a public punishment too. Everybody knows. Everybody's talking about it. It is a story because it's the Dallas Cowboys. But then he's right back over there and they're dabbing it up with him. Yeah. Like that is good leadership. That's professionalism. So yeah, hey, they did something. They got punished for it. They took their punishment. We still won the game. The Schottenheimer's a leader, and our receiver duo likes being around each other off the football field.
It's not a bad thing.
Like, I'm all right with all of that.
I keep waiting. The MO on Pickens when he came here was he was gonna cause problems, and that being a Cowboy would just make that even a bigger issue. But
Right.
hasn't happened yet.
No.
And I saw Dez wrote him like a long post on Twitter this week about, hey, like, I know you can go get more money other places, but being a Cowboy for life is life changing in itself.
Did you watch the whole Raiders game?
100%.
His yards after the catch in that game,
Crazy.
I was texting people like, did you see that? And it was, man, he was fighting for every yard. And in a game we were going to win, and when we were up, and he's still getting like an extra 3, 4, 5 yards.
Does make me a little nervous, so I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you don't want him to get hurt, but I like the effort, and I like the effort especially in a game where you got punished.
Yeah. Well, he's probably trying to prove a point.
He didn't really that, but like, you don't want the guy to come out after he got punished and be sulky, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, the Eagles are marching right down the field.
Oh no.
I mean, I've got Devontae and AJ Brown on. What's a flag? Take it back. Yeah, they're walking back. Good. All right, we're not gonna live stream the game. What?
I was just waiting. I was just seeing how long you'd sit here in silence.
Oh man, it was the replay, and it was quite the hands to the face.
Oh no.
On Flournoy, his head is turned all the way back.
Ooh, he's the one.
The back of his head is touching his shoulder blades.
He's the one that caused the penalty.
Yeah.
I was just gonna sit in silence to see how long you were gonna sit there and watch the game.
Speaking of other football, we took my oldest son to the SMU Louisville game yesterday, and that was a fun experience. Is
this American football or European football?
No. SMU football.
Gotcha. Well, I know he's in soccer, so
yeah. So we've gone to an FC Dallas game, and they honored the SMU men's soccer team. They won the ACC. They're ACC champions. Speaking of soccer, so they did that at the game. But that was a good game. Fumble, we got it. Yes.
I thought we weren't going to do play-by-play.
It's right in front of me. And any Cowboys fan listening on the pod will understand. Oh. But it was a good game. We've got he was rooting for Louisville. He's a big Lamar Jackson fan. Mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Lamar went to Louisville, so and we sat on the Louisville side, and there's a lot of Louisville fans. They traveled. I mean, it wasn't a ton, but just in our section, there might have been 100, and in a couple of the sections, you see some of that red. So Louisville's not a short drive, but they traveled okay. They got spanked 38-6. It was supposed to be a better game than that. They had Louisville and SMU had the same record, but you know, I was rooting for SMU, the home team. You know, that's the closest college football team that plays on TV, I'll say, to us.
Yeah.
They've got, I knew about their championships in the 80s before they got the death penalty.
Right.
For doing what's completely legal to do now.
Right. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
But I even when they watched that show on the 30 for 30 on them, that was crazy how much punishment they got when everybody knew everybody else was doing it.
Right. They're just the ones who got caught and got punished. So they were champions in 81 and 82, but they're also national champions back in 1935.
Nice.
And they were in the playoff last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got a shot to get in it this year.
I don't think I've ever been to a Division I football game.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I probably should go to one.
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, SMU games, let's just say the crowd is fashionable.
Ah, okay.
For SMU.
Nice.
Like I've heard Ole Miss, I've never been to one in Oxford, but I've heard Ole Miss, they dress up.
Yes.
And I feel like I've been to some college games, I've been to some NFL games. Your college games, you do have more of the golf shorts and polos look a lot of times with the school logo. You'll see a lot of that. Whereas at football games, you mostly see a lot of hoodies and jeans.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking either one, but Pickens slow to get up. He's up. He's good. Very fashionable. Like,
did you feel underdressed for the occasion?
Nah, because I don't care, but no. But I'm talking about like bedazzled, rhinestones, like pearls, like lots of dresses.
Would not have guessed that.
Dresses. The dudes, lots of slacks and golf pants.
Really? Really?
Some sport coats.
Okay, so this is a business. This is a business gathering.
Yeah, like students. But you did have the students with their shirts off painting their chest as well and dyeing their hair blue. Like you had that.
So you had both ends of the spectrum.
Some of that, but there was a lot of, it really surprised me, a lot of like slacks, button-ups, and sport coats and like loafers.
Okay.
And I'm like,
I wouldn't expect that.
Maybe that's what they do. Yeah. I've heard Ole Miss has a little element of that. So I've never been to an Ole Miss game, but that was interesting. Yeah, it was fun. We liked it.
In other news, I smoked a Russian tobacco cigar last night. It was.
What makes it Russian?
I guess the leaves are grown in Russia. I don't know.
Like it's from Russia.
It's from Russia.
Like wrapped there and everything.
I guess. I don't know. Didn't do the research that far. The person I was smoking a cigar with was like, "Hey, do you want a Russian tobacco cigar?" And I was like, "Yes, please." So it was pretty good. And by the way, I'm smoking an Ashton Eclipse again. Fans of the show. I'm spoiled. I can't smoke a cheap cigar anymore.
You gave me this one.
Yeah. I think that was a Perdomo Elite.
Yeah, it says Perdomo Tabacalera.
Yeah, Especial.
Yeah. Vintage.
So we've talked a lot about health insurance and the premiums and all that stuff on the podcast and how teacher insurance sucks. But I ran into an issue this week. I have to go to my, we're on break starting tomorrow on Thanksgiving break. And
must be nice.
Well, I'm sorry. We deserve
joking.
I know.
Yeah, you got your week off for Thanksgiving, your 3 weeks off for Christmas, and 4 months off in the summer. And
Jesus.
My wife's not in here, so I can.
Yeah. My wife is, and she might throw something at you.
I'm outnumbered in here when it comes to teachers.
But like, I went to go to my like yearly doctor's appointment, and I filled out all the information online, got my appointment set, and they called me this week, and they're like, you took us off as your PCP. And I'm like, what? I did not do that. Been going to the same doctor's office for like the last 5 years. 35 minutes on the phone with the insurance company trying to get it changed. And I was just like, why are we doing this? Okay, so you're
sorry.
This
is going to be bad. You're trying to talk about things we have on the run sheet.
Yeah. And your face just dropped.
Well, I'm trying to see what had happened was we punted.
Okay.
All right. Then the guy deep to catch it like waited forever. There was one guy right in front of him getting blocked, and for some reason he stood there for what seemed like 4 minutes, but it was probably 2 seconds. And then he starts running off to the right. He gets hit by a couple guys and strips the ball, and then it fumbles, and like one eagle tries to recover. That's 15 blocks in the back from that dude. And anyway, we wound up with the ball, and we're like on they're just doing the replay, 6-yard line.
Are you sure it's not the 7-yard line?
Could be 6, 7.
So anyways, it just took a long time to get my insurance PCP information changed over. And I just felt like it shouldn't take that long. Whoa, be careful. Almost caught your pants on fire. That would go viral real quick.
That's what we need.
How much time is left?
5:09.
Oh no. Are we going to be able to get into this stuff and you focus?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good now. Promise.
Are you sure?
No. But yeah, insurance sucks.
Yeah. So
I don't understand it. I don't understand why it's so difficult. Like that happens to me as well. A lot of time, I've always, when that's happened, I've blamed the doctor. Like I'll go there and what I don't like is why do I have to fill out the dang paper every time I go? Why can't I just say no changes? It's the same group number. It's the same member number. It's the same insurance. But
okay.
Then sometimes we'll go get our prescriptions and like, it'll be something like the kids are sick. So it's like, here's the little pink shake up amoxicillin, which is normally $4.
Right.
And they'll be like, this is $27.50. And I'm like, why? They're like, well, we don't have your insurance on file. It hasn't changed. Why? And then, and then I feel bad because there's 10 people standing behind me in line at Costco and I'm trying to like, okay, well, let me find my insurance card. Here it is. They're like, all right, well, give us a minute to run it and come back. I'm like, okay, so now I have to wait longer, so you can go run my insurance.
Did we score?
No, they haven't come back yet. So
the other thing is when you fill out the stuff to go to the doctor, do you put when it asks smoking, yes or no? I always check no.
I do too. Shh. Now it's out there.
I did ask them one time, what does this mean? What do you mean smoking? And they're like, cigarettes. And I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah.
I don't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, 100%. I'm good on that.
Because you don't inhale a cigar for new people who smoke cigars.
And we said it first on the pod. We didn't say it first, but we said it on the pod. Cigar smoking could actually be healthy for you.
Mm-hmm. If you smoke more than one a day? Probably not.
I don't.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do.
Second goal on the 2.
Oh, it's going to happen. They're going to score a touchdown.
Oh, Dak's rolling out right. He's going to run it. He's going to toss it. He's going to run it. Nope. He's going to get it to the 1. He tried to toss it to Fergie, or Schoonmaker, and Fergie, but they were covered.
Other sports news. Did you see that the Rangers traded Marcus Semien to the Mets today?
Yeah, and you see they let go of Adolis.
I did. It was time. He had a rough season.
Well, what I heard on sports radio is they were going to try to trade him, but when they were also trading him, they also said, well, if we don't get a trade offer, we're just going to tender him or whatever they call it. So, like, why would anybody give any?
Yeah, same as Jonah Heim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. They needed some change in the field, in the clubhouse, and bringing in a new manager. This is a perfect time for that. I don't think they need to trade Corey Seager. I think they need to keep him. Mm-hmm. He's still got a lot left in him, but Semien is on the backside of this, of his career, so it's time for him to move on. And the Mavericks on the up and up, even though we lost last night. I'm back on the bandwagon.
So what was your take last week on Cuban back in the front office making decisions?
I love it.
I thought that would be most people's take, but a lot of people on the sports radio this week were saying, he didn't do anything. He didn't build the team that got the championship.
Who did?
I don't know.
That would be my question, because he was the owner and basically the GM, and Donnie Nelson Jr.
He didn't get Dirk, though.
Yeah, he did. No, he didn't. But that was Don Nelson Sr., and he kept Don Nelson Sr. on as the coach. And so...
You know more. That's why I'm asking, because...
Yeah, no. I definitely think that Cuban has learned a ton.
Who's the guy that went to Phoenix after the Mavs?
That was Nash.
Nash.
Talked about that last week.
So he didn't get Nash, did he?
Yes, he did. No, well, he was here. It was one
I think that's the thing they were making.
He bought
is that
Dirk and Nash were drafted in either the same draft or right one after each other, and then Cuban bought the team.
I think that's what he was saying, is that Dirk, Nash, Jet, all those people were already here.
Right, not Jet, but Nash.
Okay.
And Dirk, yes. And then he lets Nash walk, which is fine. I mean, he had already had really bad back injuries and was kind of on the back end of his career. Went to Phoenix and played well. And he did let Jalen Brunson leave. That was a mistake. Mm-hmm. But who would have thought that Jalen Brunson would have been what he was going to be?
I did. He's got a good last name.
Oh, that's true. I was like, wait a second. No, you didn't.
Cousin Jalen.
Does that mean you're friends with his dad, too?
His dad and my dad have the same first name.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to be for the sports fan in Dallas, based on what happens on the TV here in just a few minutes. It could be really good or really bad.
We went for it 4 times and didn't score, so it's still 21-21. We didn't kick the field goal to take the lead.
No, we did not. You shut your mouth. Oh, jeez.
So they had the ball on the 2, and now they just got a first down. They're out about the 11 or 12, 13, whatever it is.
Again, we can't get out of our own way.
No. I mean, 3:34 left, so get a stop here, and then go score and win it. But, yeah, I don't. So do you think the Mavs season is done this year, or you think they still have a shot to make something of it?
I mean, here's the thing. If you can get into this is literally, I know every sport is like this to a certain extent, but if you can literally get into the playoffs and they're healthy, they have a good team, like as it's constructed right now. But you have to be healthy, and that's been the issue over the last couple of years.
So at the SMU game, they did yell stars on the national anthem, and one solo student yelled flag.
Oh, I would have been all there for it. There's a new video of him coming out like smiling every time it happens. So he's
I bet
like,
they do it at the Mavs games a lot.
100%.
Yeah, I know we're tracking that when we see it at other sports contests, as Jon Stewart calls them.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So the first thing of the week, nursing is no longer considered a professional degree according to the Department of Education. I've seen lots of takes on this, and kind of my take on it is not a bad thing. They're not saying that nurses and PAs and physical therapists and even teachers fall into this category now aren't a professional degree. Mm-hmm. The thing is they're now limiting the amount of student loans you can take out. It's $100,000 for non-professional degrees and $200,000 professional degrees over the lifetime. Mm-hmm. There will be more programs that fall into this category going forward. So basically now the government will only back up to $100,000 in student loans under these programs. Mm-hmm. Nursing falls under that program. And what's happened is you have a lot of these people come out and say, well, it's costing me $220,000, $230,000. Well, my question is, and statement as well, is does it really cost that much, or are the programs so outrageously inflated in price that it's becoming a problem, which is inflated student loan debt, which is part of the problem that we've talked about before, is like the amount of cost that it takes to become a professional, quote unquote, and get a degree. It's difficult to do. And I mean, it shouldn't cost you $200,000 to become a nurse.
Right.
I get that there's a lot of things that goes into that that I'm not qualified to speak about, but it shouldn't cost you $150,000 to be a teacher when the state minimum in the state of Texas is like $43,000. That's what your pay is going to be as the first year teacher. So that's kind of the thing that I'm getting from it. I just think that we're starting to see a shift in how the government and particularly in the education section of the government is going to be managed. They're not going to say you can't go do this or whatever. You can't go get a degree. But what they are going to say is we're only going to loan you this amount of money.
Right.
Now, if you want to go into the private sector and get more and you have to get more, that's fine. But then what I hope you'll see is the cost of the actual college degree go down. Instead of it being $20,000 every semester, maybe they'll get it down to 15 or whatever.
Yeah, because right now there's absolutely no limit on college spending.
Right.
Because all student loans are guaranteed by the government and you can get whatever you want without collateral or anything. Universities can charge whatever they want for tuition. We've talked about this. Everybody, it's not a new.
It's not new.
Not a new concept, but they can charge what they want because if you can't pay cash for it, you just go get a loan, and your loan's going to be guaranteed by the government. You're going to get the loan, and so maybe this is a way to bring prices down. It was an executive, it was a departmental decision to do this,
right?
It's not like Congress did it. So my mind immediately goes to okay. So people going into nursing programs now, like my daughter is going to be a nurse, so she'll start her program next year. This affects them. But if the next guy is not a Republican or of the same mindset, a type of Republican even, can just reverse it. I could see a lot of swing back and forth on this.
Yeah. It shouldn't cost that much.
I hate the optics of it because, all of the headlines do now appear to be, the Trump administration says that nurses aren't a profession. Right. That's the headline, right? And I hate the optics of that. But it is what it is.
I don't like it either, but I understand where it's going. Mm-hmm. It's like so many headlines today. Oh, nurses are not professionals anymore. Wait, what? So then you look into it and it's like, well, that's not really the case. Also,
sacked him.
What down is it?
It's real important because we just had the 2-minute warning. They were sitting on the 35 with a first down. So now, a 3rd and 2. And so you think the Eagles are going to get that 3rd and 2. or get a yard and then they have a tush push and then they got a first down and they just like trickle down the field for the last 2 minutes and then kick a Jake Elliott field goal and win the game. But we just sacked him back at the 20.
Nice.
And now it's 4th down. So they'll have to punt it back to us, and we have a guy that could probably kick it from wherever they punt it to.
That's true. That's true. Do we have any timeouts?
Let me look when it comes back up. Yeah, we have 2. They have 3. 1:52 left.
Do you have slide 3 ready for us?
Yeah.
So the CDC now is saying that vaccines may cause autism. And this is a study that I found. It's based, I put the sources down here. It's from the CDC and the National Institute of Mental Health. And what this is this is the cases of diagnosed autism spectrum disorder from approximate 1,000 children. And you can see, so basically now in 2022, I believe is what it says up there. I can't really, 2022. So basically 35 out of every 1,000 children is somewhat on the spectrum disorder. And I tried to find vaccine charts are super difficult to read if you don't know what you're looking for, by the way, if you're just trying to do a little bit of research. And I found that like it was in 1995, which is when this is when it first starts to really track up. Okay. That's when they first started to expand the amount of vaccines that were given. Last time I checked, it was over 22 before the age of 5 is what kids are given these days. And I'm not saying like, RFK is on that whole make America healthy again. And I'm not saying that vaccines are strictly the only thing that causes autism, because it's definitely not. But a couple of things that I think go into this. First off, we kind of know what to look for. Okay. We know what to expect. We know kind of what the testing and the studying that's going into autism is increasing every single year. Also, we're starting to understand a little bit more about what is the spectrum and how wide and sometimes how broad it is. But then also, like, our diet has a lot to do with it too. We've talked a ton about this, about red dye and how diet plays a role. And then the last thing that I couldn't really find is like a study on genetic testing based on like, okay, yes, the parent, don't have autism, but everyone around me is like, hey, you might have autism. You probably should get that checked out. So it's kind of like one of those things where I think we now are starting to understand this disorder a lot more. I don't even like calling it a disorder because it's not really that. But that's just what what it's called. So I just kind of found this very interesting that now we had all the pushback against RFK over the last couple of years or last couple of months. And now the CDC has come out and said, well, maybe.
Yeah. And just to describe it, it's probably going to wash out on the Twitch. We'll throw the actual graphic on the YouTube. We'll share it for those listening on the podcast, on the socials. But it's basically flat at a very low, like looks like about 1%, from 75 to 85. Just flat straight across there. And then 85, it starts to tick up slowly. But at 1995, you're still below 5%. You look like about 3.5%, 4%. You tick up a little more year 2000, you're above 5%. And then the curve starts sweeping up dramatically. So just to put it in perspective, in the year 2000 in this chart, you're looking at what looks about 7%, up from what looks about 1% in 1985, so 15 years later. 10 years after that, you're up at 15% in 2010. 10 years after that, in 2020, you're up at, what, 27%?
Yeah, something like that.
And then it shows after that, which looks to be about close to 2022 is the end of the graph, at somewhere around 32, 33%.
And like I also know that like MRI testing and CT scans have gotten much more advanced during this time period over the last 20, 25 years. And so I can't help but wonder if the testing is just gotten so much better.
Yeah.
And also like we listen to our kids a little bit better.
Right.
Right. And so like we talk to them, you allow them to have a voice. And so when you're looking at things, you're like, that doesn't sound right. And so now instead of just go to your room or whatever of the 80s and 90s, which is very obvious here, we're like, okay, how do we manage this behavior? And so instead of just suppressing it, you're now letting it out in the open, and you're trying to figure out exactly what that looks like.
Yeah. I think it's both and. I think that's what you're saying. I think there's got to be some, whether it is vaccines, diet, other environmental factors that are increasing the pervasivity of it. But that, as well as, I think it's just being reported more as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Because in 85, 75, 85, even into the 90s, you probably just had like, hey, that's just an odd kid,
Yeah, 100%.
He just got some quirks.
Yeah, he's just quirky.
Yeah, my daughter and I were driving today, and there's a kid that lives in our neighborhood, and he's autistic, and he has some very specific interest. Okay, and like he's an adult, lives at home, lives with his family. And he's on our Facebook page, and he likes to report like events. He's almost like some of those scanner pages.
Right.
He basically has his own kind of like scanner page.
But for the neighborhood?
For like the neighborhood.
Nice.
And like his very specific interest. And so like, you take that back 40 years and you see that kid, and like you'd think some people might see that and it's like, oh, he's got some quirks, versus now we know he's autistic.
Right.
Right. So I say you got some of that, but I think there also has got to be an increase in the volume of kids and people with autism.
Yeah, I agree with you on all things said. 2 Texans, by the way, are indicted for trying to take over a Haitian island.
Did you look into this?
I did. Did you see the size of the island?
Yeah.
We should have put it on the slide, how big it looks.
Yeah.
It's a big, like I was thinking it was going to be, like when I read the article, I was like, okay, this is like one of those, mile-wide islands that doesn't have a whole lot of people on it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Or nobody on it.
A single tribe or something like that. No, it was like 30 miles long with massive cities on it.
I've gone back and forth on how I feel about this so many times, because at first I was like, oh, nope, can't do that. Like these idiots. And then I thought to myself, I bet there's some islands out there that don't have anybody on them. And you just grab a boat and Swiss Family Robinson this thing and like, unplug,
Let's do it.
Like, eat some coconuts till you learn how to fish. I don't know. Figure it out. Build your shelter like Survivor it.
But I don't understand why you think this looks bad.
Huh?
Why do you think this looks bad?
Did you read deep into it? Like, they had some other charges on the record for like making some content.
Oh, no. I did not read that.
Yeah, it's not just 2 guys wanting to go unplug off the grid.
Okay.
It was 2 guys wanting to go have their own island. Of another type of island that has been in the news a lot that I don't like talking about anymore.
Gotcha.
That's what it seems.
They wanted to have their own Epstein island.
That's what it seems like.
There. Okay. Huh. I didn't read that far into it.
Or, and it's very new. This is one of those things we'll bring it back up if it merits it. But it's one of those things like when they investigated these guys, they found some of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It's not, not 100% if they wanted to go do that on this island, but when they investigated these guys, and of course I'm sure raided their homes and their computers and things like that, they found some of that. So there's 35 seconds left. We are in field goal range.
How far the field goal would it be?
I don't know, but I know we're in field goal range because
we're across the 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're on the field basically for Brandon Aubrey. We're in the green part because Pickens just caught a cast. No, knock on some wood. Knock on a whiskey barrel. I think we're down all the way to we down all the way to the 20?
Since we're talking about Epstein, the House voted this week 427-1 to force the Justice Department to release the Epstein files. I like the guy that voted 1. Did you listen to him? Did you hear what he had to say?
No.
He was like, I'm just the guy that votes no. That's what he said. I'm just the guy.
This one? Yeah, I'm sure
it's my job to vote no.
I'm sure his constituents are real proud of him. We sent this guy to vote no in Congress. Like, what do you do? I vote no. Do you listen to the what is he? His constituents are just a bunch of Karens or something. So he's like representing them by just voting no on everything.
They probably don't even pay attention.
Maybe not. He's Louisiana, neighboring state.
Well, if the glove fits.
Maybe he's just speaking Cajun, and they thought it was no, but he's actually
he was say
had to get back for the crawfish bowl.
Oh yeah, crawfish season has ended. except for at HEB.
We talked about the commercial that's on right now. We just talked about a few podcasts ago, but it was the Johnny Knoxville Fear Factor.
Yes.
So,
they just showed it on TV.
Yeah, this stupid Epstein thing. I think the reason that vote happened is because Trump changed his tune. Like, Trump finally said, like, no, release it, just get it over with, And so they call a vote. Out of the 435 seats, you get a 427-1 vote, and then it goes to the Senate. The Senate passes it, and then Trump signs it all pretty quickly.
I just think that I don't still understand why this is all of a sudden a big deal. It blows my mind. I just don't understand. Like they had them 4 or 5 years ago. So why didn't they release them then? That's been my whole argument the whole time.
Well, I don't like that. I don't like saying that because I don't want to put the onus on the Biden administration, but there is a thing, and it's true. And Bill Maher said it too. Like, Biden could have released all the files and they didn't. And I worry a little bit about what's going to come out because, it comes out somewhat unfiltered. And if you see somebody's name with somebody else's name in an email, that doesn't mean there's guilt there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And so I think, big surprise here, what's going to happen is one side's going to say, oh, look at all these Democrat names that are in there. And the Democrat side's going to say, oh, look at all these Republican names that are on here. And that's just going to be the story. And then you're going to have all your people that say, all the good, juicy stuff is redacted. So it'll fuel the conspiracy theory guys,
100%. And that's the problem. Like, if you're going to release it all, you have to release everything.
What I'm trying to say in kind of a really roundabout way is I don't think we're going to find out anything we don't already know.
No.
I don't think anything's going to come out of this. It's going to change anything. I'm fine. I'm glad, whatever, that they released it. But like I said last week, man, if we just don't have to talk about this anymore, and I don't, it's not that I want to shove it under the rug and say it's not a topic or something important to talk about. It's that I don't think there's anything else left to talk about. Like, we've covered it. Like Epstein. Okay, you made it. All right, we won.
Yay.
What?
Oh, so hold on. We went to watch my daughters play this past week. Okay, and first off, we had to watch it 3 times. It was great. But like throughout the play, they break, like they I can't really describe. I'm not going to do a good job of this, but basically the lady is giving a speech and she's like, and we're going to have no school tomorrow, and everybody's like, hooray. And it was like every single time that they said that, the whole group that was in the play would go, hooray. So now in the house, every time somebody does something, we're like, hooray.
That's awesome.
So that's what I'm going to do for the Eagles. Hey, man, we beat the Eagles.
We beat
the defending Super Bowl champ.
And we play the Chiefs on Thursday. And, I love the Chiefs, but they're very beatable.
Very beatable.
So, I don't know, man.
We'll see. Is your girl going to be there, Taylor Swift?
I don't know. They haven't really showed her too much this year that I've seen.
I have not paid attention at all.
It wasn't like it was the first year.
That's
when
true.
It was like, every game she got minutes of coverage. But my watch is blowing up right now. People are texting, "This is our year." Typical Cowboy fans.
But while we're talking about famous female singers,
yeah,
Nicki Minaj speaking at the UN. If you had on your bingo card, look over there. That's
well, we talked about it last week.
Yeah,
was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
I think it was last week.
Okay, because when Trump, when she praised Trump on Twitter about, speaking out, she thanked him for speaking out for the persecuted Christians in Nigeria.
What's the slide you have?
I heard talking at the UN.
Oh, I didn't know this already happened.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I missed that. Look at me getting caught up on a current events podcast that I co-host. Okay, here we go. The question is she going to use, I mean, I know it says genocide, but does she use the word genocide?
I must say I am very nervous. So please, well, thank you, Ambassador Waltz, for this invitation. It is an honor to...
Ambassador Waltz. So throwback. This is Tim Waltz. This is the Signalgate guy. The one that put the reporter in the group chat that talked about the defense plans.
No.
He got fired, so to speak, as national security advisor, but promoted to, now he's our ambassador to the UN. So it's like when when she says Ambassador Waltz, that's who she's talking about, the Signalgate guy.
Okay.
Stand on this stage with you and the other distinguished speakers here today to shine a spotlight on the deadly threat faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria, to combat extremism, and to bring a stop to violence against those who simply want to exercise their natural right to freedom of religion or belief. Barbs, I know you're somewhere listening. I love you so very much. You have been the ultimate light in my life and career for so long. I appreciate you, and I want to make it very clear once again that this isn't about taking sides. This is about standing up in the face of injustice. It's about what I've always stood for my entire career, and I will continue to stand for that. For the rest of my life, I will care if anyone, anywhere, is being persecuted for their beliefs.
I mean, good. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that, that you start to see these famous people, musicians, come out for a cause that is not quote unquote political. Okay, you saw this with my guy Jelly Roll in the opioid crisis. He posts about it all the time on his personal stuff, but he also is trying to do something about it. And I feel like this is what we need. I know we should not necessarily look to Jelly Roll and Nicki Minaj as a moral high ground for our country, but at the same time, use your platform for what you can.
Sure. It just seems very normal to me. This is something she cares about, which when we talked about this on the podcast, I said I had to go back and do a little research because having listened to some of Nicki Minaj's songs, I was somewhat surprised to see her out there coming out in support for Christians who are being persecuted in Nigeria. So, and then she tweets this, thanks Trump. Trump's people get on it and say, hey, we should have you speak at the UN about it. They have her speak at the UN. And I like that, regardless of, I would say a healthy portion, if not all, but a healthy portion of Nicki Minaj's listeners may not support President Trump.
Yeah.
That's probably a safe assumption to make, but she's out there saying, hey, I care about this. And I'm going to go speak about it. And Trump is the president, and he's the one who is doing this. He's the leader of the free world. He's the president of the United States. So I'm going to support him, in what he's doing here.
Yeah. And
then, aside from that, for Trump not to brush it aside and say, well, I know what your supporters think of me, but to say, no, we're going to have you come speak at the UN. That's not nothing either.
That's
for the Trump administration to elevate her voice out of she has obviously a huge social media following, being a superstar, but then to elevate her voice out of the entertainment world into the United Nations.
Yeah.
On the global scale.
Yeah.
Now she is a global superstar when it comes to music, and now she is globally known, for speaking out about this issue, and has brought even more attention to this issue. So you have Trump, obviously, as a president of the United States, who can bring attention to it. But when you have somebody like Nicki Minaj,
right,
who can bring attention to it, again, I'm shocked. Did not have this on my bingo card for the year, but I like both sides. I like, Nikki's approach to it. And then I like also President Trump elevating her voice so they can work together on this. May not agree on much anything else, but they can work together on this.
Well, two things that I really, really like about this. First off, this shows that the Trump administration is paying way more attention to things outside of the political landscape than what they normally would pay attention to. Like, someone saw that and then brought it to the administration's attention. There's that. But then also, like, taking her out of her element and then putting her in a position of somewhat of sharing her voice. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I really, really like it. I just think too, like, like taking people out of their element has seemed to be something that Trump has done a lot lately. Okay, this week we had Mondami visit the White House.
Yes, that went more cordial than I thought it would.
Here's what I think about this. In being in the business world for a little while, you have the old heads of a business, right? You have old heads, and they just know a lot more than you as a young guy, right? Whatever the business is, you can. This goes across industries, teaching or accounting, the blue collar work, whatever. And you go and you visit the old head, and he just kind of sets you down, and he gives you the what for.
Yeah,
and he just tells you, hey, this is what we think. We can, whatever. I don't know what was said in that private meeting, but it was very obvious when the press came in that Mondami was kind of, I don't want to say put in check because I don't believe that, but he was told, like,
yeah,
this is how this is going to go. And then when they interview him, they're like, well, we heard that you called Trump a fascist. Is that still the case? And he's standing behind Trump, and Trump looks at him and says, you did. It's okay to say yes. And the whole energy of the room changed.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that Obama would have done, and Bush would have been able to do as well. But I really like Trump bringing in someone who is politically supposed to be polar opposites for a conversation. And they both said, well, I'm not going to, Mondami said, well, I'm not going to go meet with Trump if he calls. And Trump said, well, I'm not going to meet with he's not going to win anyways. Well, then when he wins, it's the same thing that we've talked about with Bush and Obama. When Bush brought Obama in as the future president of the United States, and to have a conversation. Now, I put on the show notes, why do we care about this so much? He's just a New York mayor. But I could see where he has the charisma to hold higher office. He has that charisma about him.
Yeah, I mean, I think his politics, even in 2025 in America, are going to severely limit him.
Oh, 100%. I'm just saying charisma only.
Right. But the thing I like about Trump, one of the things I guess I should say, is that he's had to be a negotiator and a deal maker outside of politics. So many times when you get our presidents talk about, I don't know if he would have been as smooth, but I know Obama would have been. But Obama's been a politician. Even as a community organizer, it's steeped in politics before he was a senator. So, but Trump has been a businessman. Trump has had to negotiate. He's had to be a deal maker.
Right.
And outside of politics, which means that he's had to work with who he had. He's been a real estate mogul in New York under different types of administrations, where he has had to be able to make deals and do business under the people that he has to work with and that who are in leadership. And so Mondami wins. Is that Trump's pick? No, he actually endorsed Cuomo, didn't endorse the Republican, he endorsed Cuomo. But when Mondami wins, he's like, all right, Mondami's the mayor of New York. This is who I have to work with.
Yeah.
We're going to have him in. We're not going to agree on a lot of things. He's going to call me a fascist, but he's the guy that we got to work with. And so he's going to. Whereas I think a president who is only a politician would say, nope, he's on the other side. I'm on this side. He's on that side. We cannot interact. But Trump doesn't do that.
I hope whoever the Republicans put up in 28 is learning from this.
Yeah.
I hope. I mean, because, Vance and whoever it is, Vance, Rubio, Cruz has put his name out there now, which I don't think he has a shot, but that's another conversation for another day.
Too much baggage.
DeSantis, Greg Abbott, whoever it is, I hope that they're learning from this, because that could have gone completely opposite. And then I think if they get into a bickering argument in the Oval Office, it doesn't look good on the president.
Right.
And I'm not so sure first term Trump would have done this.
No.
But
even if he wanted to, though,
I don't think he would have been allowed to.
That's what I mean. The people that he had around him, he had the old establishment as his people in his first term. We talked about that in Trump 2.0, are Trump's people around him. So I think Trump would have wanted to do this because I think Trump is Trump. But his people would not have let him. They would have said, no, Mr. President, you can't do that. You can't have this guy has called you a fascist. He's a Democratic socialist. You can't have him in the Oval Office.
Right. The optics are not good.
I even took a step back when I saw it. I was like, oh, he's in the Oval.
Yeah.
They didn't have a meeting out here, in the Roosevelt room or something. No, he's in the Oval.
And I think too, it made it. This is a very niche conversation. What I'm about to say, it makes a difference that he was sitting behind the Resolute.
Oh yeah, he does that,
and that he was sitting and Mandami was standing.
Yeah,
that matters.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure exactly how to explain why that matters
he projects the power of the office.
Exactly. And like if he had been, and you see this a lot of times too when he's meeting with like presidents that he sees as an equal. I'm trying to think who was the last one that he had in the Oval Office, and they're sitting in the chairs where he's not sitting behind the Resolute.
Right. Even with Zelensky, they'll do that.
Right.
Yeah. They'll sit out in the chairs at the fireplace across from the desk.
Right.
Well, in the West Wing, a federal execution. We always have to talk about the West Wing, but every time it's a perennial. I
love it.
Topic.
I really got to get into it.
You do.
Maybe this break.
You should.
Maybe this break. I'll just binge it. We'll just have it on the TV downstairs.
It's a show that I'll just watch in perpetuity. I watched all 7 seasons, then watch it again. I'm on like 5th trip through it. The first federal execution of Jed Bartlett's presidency comes up, and he's a Catholic, and so he has his priest come talk to him, and his priest said, I've known you since you were a boy. I've been your priest forever. Like, how do you want me to address you? And he says, in this room, I prefer you address me as Mr. President. And he says, okay, Mr. President, it is. And he said, well, you understand why, though? Because this is somebody he obviously respects. And he doesn't want to say, like, everybody's going to call me Mr. President. He says, you understand why? And he says, do I need to? And he's like, well, let me tell you anyway. It's that in this room, I have to make decisions that affect the American people, that affect the lives of our troops, that affect our country as a whole. And it's better for me to think when I'm making those decisions of me acting in the office for all the people of the United States, for our troops, for our military, than as a person.
Yeah.
And the priest is like, yeah, whatever, makes sense to me. Like I was good with it without the explanation. But I like that scene from the show because I thought, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like,
right. Yeah,
the president is a person with a background. Like, Jed Bartlett was a Catholic, and like with a background and a family background, and comes from a particular state in the United States and a particular area of the country. But in that office, they have to make decisions for everyone. So it's better to be thought of as I'm making this decision as Mr. President, not as Jed Bartlett. Well, and that's important. And Trump was projecting that.
Right.
And Trump has an ego. Like, nobody's going to deny it. But when he sits behind that desk, he's saying that you're the mayor of New York. I'm the president of the United States, and we're in my office.
Yeah.
And that projects a statement that needs to be said.
Right. Well, and I think, too, this was the issue that I had with Trump in the first go-around. Like, I didn't feel he was always real presidential.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if we said it the last episode or the episode before last, but, like, when he would do the mean tweets, like, that's not a presidential thing to do.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get information out through Truth Social and X, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Sometimes I wish he would fix some of the things he says, which with MGT, we're about to talk about. We're going to talk about it.
Even the Charles Massey tweet last week, like we talked about, like that's just not. That's I don't want the president tweeting that.
But at the same time, I feel like we've seen a major shift in the direction of like understanding the the power that you have. You're it's much bigger than just a title.
For sure.
So,
but yeah, we just talked about we just talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene last week. Showed her a clip of her talking on The View, which was talking about her kind of rift with Trump, and because she was a hardliner like Massey on the Epstein files, on saying, "Hey, this was a campaign promise, and you said you're going to release them as soon as you got in the office, and you haven't done it."
Yeah.
And so she was a hardliner on that, and I believe her efforts and Thomas Massey's efforts are one of the reasons that law got passed this week, and immediately went to the Senate and got passed, and immediately went to Trump's desk and he signed it because of that pressure. But Trump did not like it.
You're right.
And Trump had called her out. He had encouraged a primary opponent for her in Georgia. And then, a day or two after we record, she resigns from Congress before her term ends. Like, she's not just saying, I'm not going to run again.
Right.
She's out on January 5th, which is also interesting because it's not now. It's not immediate. I don't know what the significance of January 5th is. I assume it's to keep the Republican majority stronger in Congress and then through the holiday.
Right.
And then that gives them time to appoint someone, get a special election. Every state does that based on their own rules. I don't know what Georgia's rules are.
Right.
Some states you can't replace until you have that special election. Some will allow the governor to appoint to fill a spot until there's a special election. Some allow the governor to appoint to fill the rest of the term, and then you have a regular election. I don't know what Georgia does, but I was surprised. I was genuinely surprised that she resigned. Trump, obviously, and I got his tweet here, is saying that, it was pressure from him that he was going to primary her, so she was done anyway.
Right.
I actually don't believe that's true.
I don't either.
Just my gut. Again, this is going to wash out on the screen, so I'll read it and we'll post it up as a link on the YouTubes. But this is Donald J. Trump on Truth Social. Marjorie, in quotes, traitor Brown.
I'm guessing because he doesn't want to say green, he's calling her brown noser, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows what's in the mind of Donald Trump? Because of all caps, he does tweet like a boomer. I'm just going to call it out. Because of all caps plummeting poll numbers and not wanting to face a primary challenger with a strong Trump endorsement, in quote, in parentheses, where she would have no chance of winning, exclamation point, close parentheses, has decided to call it, in quotes, quits. Her relationship with the worst Republican congressman in decades, Tom Massey, again, calling out Tom Massey again, of Kentucky, also known as Rand Paul Jr. because he votes against the Republican Party and really good legislation, did not help her. For some reason, primarily that I refused to return her never-ending barrage of phone calls, Marjorie went, all caps, bad. Nevertheless, I will always appreciate Marjorie and thank her for her service to our country, President DJT. He left off the thank you for your attention to this matter. Like he likes to tweet. So he gives a little, like, I'll always appreciate at the end, but I feel like he is taking a victory lap on this. I don't think she's resigning Congress because she was going to be primaried. I think in a state like Georgia, even in her district, I don't know. If she would not have won, Ossoff is in trouble, okay, in Georgia. The Democrat senator who's up in 2026, he's in trouble. I don't know if she would have had a chance, but she could have run there. This is one of those things where put a pin in it is what I'm going to say. Let's wait another, whatever it is, 5, 10, 15 episodes, and I think we're going to be talking about this again.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with that. I agree.
Yeah, there's something not here, and I know that our conspiracy theory friends are going to be all over what this actually means, and I'm sure it has to do with Israel. Probably going to throw a Charlie Kirk reference in there. Get all the good conspiracy theories going. But
while we're talking about that,
oh no,
asked on the Twitch what our thoughts are on Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I was never really a big fan of Candace Owens before.
On the Twitch, are they talking her in general, or specifically she came out and said her life was in danger from the French this past week?
Oh,
that the French were trying to assassinate her and had people in country to do that.
Oh, no. I didn't. I don't know if they'll
And they're working with the Israelis, who are also responsible for Charlie Kirk's assassination and all this stuff.
I think that's what they're referring to.
She's been on that for a while, but specifically
the French thing.
Is specifically this week, she said that the French were out to kill her. I think she's out to get clicks.
I kind of agree with that. I
think she says enough true things.
Yeah.
Sprinkled in with some what ifs and some questions and conspiracies to get clicks, and I think that's what she's after. I hate saying that because God forbid if something happens to her the next few weeks, then it's
right. Like she was right.
Right. So I'm not here saying she's 100% just out there, looking for clicks and looking for attention. Because she is a social media influencer. Like that's what she does. Yeah. She's a content creator, social media influencer. So
that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, first off, hold on. I want to go back to the Charlie Kirk thing. When you come out not even a week after he had been killed. Yeah. And you're already kind of dragging his legacy through the mud, and you're supposed to be quote unquote on the same team as him. That rubbed me a wrong way. Whether she's right or she's wrong.
Right.
There's a time and a place for everything, and I just didn't feel like that was the time nor the place.
Yeah.
The second thing is she keeps, as far as I can tell, she keeps coming out and saying things like, well, this source, but never says, like, I can't really speak about it. Well, then stop talking about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to come on here and say, well, I heard blah, 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 blah. Like, that's you have a huge following. You can't say those types of things.
That's the problem I have. And we didn't put this on the run sheet, and I really meant to. But the 8 or so congressmen, senators who have come out, and did you see they made a video telling active duty servicemen, you can resist an unlawful order.
Sedition stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I hate about that is your active duty servicemen already know that.
Right.
And when pressed, none of them, Mark Kelly included, who is a senator, a Democrat senator from Arizona, I somewhat respect, former astronaut, when asked what unlawful order are you talking about, they crawfish and they can't bring up anything.
Right.
So that's like me and you being in a store. And I walk you up to the front counter to the store owner, and I tell the store owner, like, you know what? If he steals something, you can prosecute him. If Kyle steals something from you, you can prosecute him. Well, duh. The store owner knows that. Kyle knows that. But now I made it out like you're going to steal something.
Right. Right.
But just by stating the facts. And so it's petty. I hate it. That really upset me this week. And I feel like that's a lot of what Candace Owens does.
Right.
Is, well, maybe, and this could be, but there's never any substance to it. Right. And maybe I don't have the time to dive deep enough to find it. But where I have tried to say, okay, she said this. Okay, let me go back and look at what she's actually saying about this. Let me look up some things about it, whatever it is, especially with the Charlie Kirk stuff. Looking at her material, what she is putting out there, she never gets to the bottom of it.
No.
Never.
Which,
from what I've seen.
If that's your stick, go for it. You know what I mean?
It's just
but you have such a huge following that you have some sort of a responsibility to. Mm-hmm. You do.
But
there are times we don't even have that big of a following, and I feel bad sometimes. I'm like, man, I probably should have worded that a little differently.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But she has that following because that's what they want to hear, though.
That's true. That's
she's got that following because people want to hear that stuff, and they want to believe that stuff, and they want to feel like they have more knowledge than the average Joe.
Right.
And okay, you think this is what happened? You think it was a lone assassin on a rooftop somewhere? Well, let me tell you what actually happened. You don't know.
Yeah, so the Twitch says, I feel like if she says something and makes a statement, the Fed should be looking into her information if it's legit. They are.
Sure.
They definitely are. I mean, they're not going to come out and say that, but I mean, there's some truth in it. I don't know if you, on the Charlie Kirk thing, did you watch the interview with his head of security on Sean Ryan's show?
Yeah.
That's devastating.
Yeah.
you can't fake the emotion that he had. You can't fake it. And like that was, to me, everything that Candace Owens said about Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk went away when I watched that interview.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially being a foreign power, like if a notable figure, especially a notable political figure in the United States says a foreign government's out to kill me, like, yes, the government has checked on that.
Yeah. Or they're in on it.
Listen, we would have 1 million times more views and subscriptions if we were a conspiracy theory podcast. I'm telling you, that stuff sells.
Yeah,
I feel like we limit ourselves.
I just can't.
I feel like we limit ourselves a lot of times because we are like call balls and strikes,
right?
And we are so kind of, yeah, maybe, and there's a lot of nuance and a lot of both, and people don't want to hear that a lot of times.
But it's the truth.
Well, that's what we talked about when we first talked about doing this.
Just call it like we see it, and if we don't see it, then we just wait
and
see how it plays out. Well, what we can talk about is Texas redistricting.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, when I saw this federal
Yeah.
court case pass, I was like excited.
I knew it would happen.
Yeah, me too. But I was really excited about it.
Are you talking about when the federal judge struck it down this week?
Well,
are you talking about the
stay?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Alito stayed it.
Yeah.
But the high court will have to hear it.
Right.
But they've already heard a exactly similar case. And so that case, so just to back up, we'll give the story.
Okay, sorry. I jumped the gun on that.
We talked a little bit about Texas redistricting, and then Newsom in California did the same thing to try to gain additional seats for the House. And we talked about what gerrymandering was and where that came from. The guy in Maryland, the governor, right? Where that name came from. And so a federal court has struck down Texas's maps and said you can't use those. Well, the Supreme Court heard a case in North Carolina, Ruccio versus Common Cause, just a few years ago. And it was during the Trump's first administration. They're in Trump 1 when they heard that case. And John Roberts, the Chief Justice, wrote the majority opinion saying, listen, states can do whatever they want, even if it's political, for political reasons. The state legislatures get to draw these lines.
Right.
And
those are elected officials.
Yes, and this is not a decision for the judicial branch to come in and correct the legislative branch on. And that was Ruccio versus Common Cause. There were only two judges that were on that court that are not on today's court. Ruth Bader Ginsburg had not passed away yet. She was replaced by Amy Coney Barrett, which would likely... She has been a little more
middle of the road.
Middle of the road,
yeah,
like Roberts. But if Roberts wrote the majority opinion for that South Carolina case, then she likely will trend with Roberts on that. So I think that's going to be actually a flipped vote because the South Carolina decision was a 5-4 decision. And so I think you could see the Ruth Bader Ginsburg's vote flipping to the side of Texas in this case.
Yeah.
And then Stephen Breyer retired, and Biden replaced Stephen Breyer with Ketanji Brown Jackson, which Breyer voted against it for South Carolina. Ketanji Brown Jackson will vote against it. So that's just that's a wash there. So as a 5-4 decision, when the South Carolina case came down, I think this case will be a 6-3 decision. But even if not, even if Amy Coney Barrett goes against Texas, it'll still be 5-4, and then the maps will stand. It's just...
That's what I meant by I was excited.
Yeah.
I'm
to clarify.
I'm predicting my excitement in the coming months.
They've got to do it though. We got primary starting in March.
I know. I'm excited.
So they've got to.
God, we're such nerds.
Supreme Court's got to say, hey, this is it, because some of these congressmen are not going to have districts anymore,
right? And
the way they're going to be redrawn. So I think the court will hear it. Will decide. Alito has already stayed the decision. So it's. The lower court ruling is somewhat nullified already, and so the full court would just have to agree with that, and then we'll see. Like I said, as soon as I can wrap my brain around it, I'll get us a congressional map up. We looked at senators 3 weeks ago,
yeah,
but we can't look at congressmen just yet. I have no idea what it's going to look like.
I'm excited. I can't wait because I know you've already worked on it. You're just not telling me you've worked on it.
Oh, I've worked on it.
See, I know.
I'm always working on it. I'm the guy in off years. I'm looking at poll numbers.
I know.
Yeah, it's fun because I get to have a spreadsheet.
I bet you have a lot of spreadsheets.
A couple.
If you had to guess how many spreadsheets you've made in your life, hundreds of thousands?
Not hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
Thousands, though.
Oh, man. That's a lot. That's a lot of spreadsheets.
My wife is waving to me.
She would disagree, I bet. Yeah, see? She says no. So for those that are tuning in on the video, this won't come across as the podcast. This is episode 50. And we have two special guests with us. We're not going to bring them on just yet, but this is a very exciting for us, or for me and Clint. I don't know about those two, but I'm excited about it. I do want to get y'all's opinion about my list, though. Everybody likes a list. So Texas is now mandating, it's going to come out in June this summer, a reading list for all K through 12. So I put together my list of top 10 books that every student should have to read between now, when they start kindergarten, and the 12th grade. Okay? So I want y'all's opinion on this. We like it. My first two are The Grouchy Ladybug and anything that has to do with Bluey. Okay? So we're talking about elementary age kids here.
Yeah.
Have you read these two books?
The Grouchy Ladybug, yes.
Do you want to bite? That's what my daughter would say. You want to fight? So The Grouchy Ladybug, she wants to fight everything. And then obviously Bluey. Yeah, what'd she say? What'd she say? Yeah, she gets smacked at the end by some other animal. I can't remember what it is. Oh, that's right, a whale. A whale. That's right. So she works her way all the way up to a whale. And then anything that has to do with Bluey, great for kids. Next, as we get into upper elementary, intermediate age, we have anything that has to do with Hank the Cow Dog.
Okay? I read all of them.
I read all of them.
I wish I still had them.
Do you still have any of these books? No?
I wish I still had mine, because you cannot find them.
No.
Like, you just
I'll
can't.
go on a search. I sometimes visit.
You can go on
Half Price
eBay
books.
and they're $150 each.
Shut up.
Yeah, because they're out. I guess they're out of print or something. But I had every single one of these, and I wish I would have kept them so my boys could read them now.
And then anything that has to do with Gary Paulson and the Hatchet.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Great book. I have just read it like 3 weeks ago. So this is like all guy books as well. Now going into middle school, we should all have to read Goosebumps and Scary Stories. Yeah. Now, you want to talk about terrifying. The Scary Stories, when I would read those when I was a little kid, give me nightmares. Okay? Yeah? You agree? Yeah, see? The crowd agrees. All right. I don't remember what number on. Okay, so now we're getting into high school. Okay? When Miss Milby made us read Lord of the Flies, I just remember her reading it to us because we were seniors, and she was like, I don't have time for y'all anymore. Yeah. And so she read it to us, or maybe it was a microphone or something that read it to us. I don't remember.
I was also, I feel like, and I was 2 years ahead of you, 2 years.
Two.
And I felt like I was also in her, like she was already retired phase.
Did y'all have to read this in your pre-AP English class? No? Did you? Yeah, okay.
We ran into her. We were actually
Smart one in the room didn't have to read it.
Down in Fairfield, and we stopped. There's like a buffet place down there called Sam's in Fairfield, and anybody who knows that area down by Houston or north of Houston, it's a famous buffet. And we were sitting there one time with the kids eating, and I looked across and I was like, "That's my high school English teacher."
Did you go talk to her?
No.
Oh,
we didn't have that kind of relationship.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to.
I watched her break up a fight one time. That was pretty amazing. Her and Miss Irby.
Oh, those two.
Yeah. My dad.
They were serious.
Yeah.
Your dad didn't need to do anything if those two were involved.
She threw that boy, her and Miss Irby threw that boy into the classroom, and he was bleeding. And I was like, and Miss Irby was like, wasn't having no part of it. No part of it. Okay.
I don't know how this is possible, but I think I had Miss Irby. She's a math teacher for 3 of my 4 years in high school. And every single one of them, she's pregnant. And I feel like I never got to have Miss Irby not pregnant.
I'll have to tell you a story about that.
It was a rough go.
Wait, hold on. You didn't get the other one. Okay, before we go to this one, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. I just think, like, we talked at the open of the show about autism and kind of how things were handled back in the day. This is a perfect example of that. I just think that that's such a great book. and definitely should be read by all high schoolers. And then my last two, and I can't quite decide if I picked Grapes of Wrath because I just had to show this in class and we watched it and then we talked about it. But I really like that. And then also we're talking about The Jungle in class. So those were the two.
I don't know that one.
The Jungle is about the meat packing industry.
Okay.
And written by Upton Sinclair. I believe that is my top 10. I hope that these are all on the list.
My favorite quote from The Grapes of Wrath in the movie: "Big wind come from east, fire, burn them up." When I was a kid, I'd watch this.
Oh, that's a great
movie.
one. I forgot about that. The Twitch says The Giver.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, honorable mention.
I read that in GT, one of my GT class.
I wasn't in GT.
Yeah, it was a good book.
I was dyslexic, so reading is difficult for me. For people who've listened to the podcast for quite some time, we know that Kyle doesn't do very well reading.
That's why I was reading the tweets on the screen.
That's right. There's truth to it, guys. Yeah. Like, I know what I can and can't do. Reading out loud is not one of my things. I struggle with it.
Yep.
I struggle with like, what's it called? Like the phrasing of a sentence. We just stop at the comma. I always stop at the wrong spot. I don't know why. It just is what it is.
Well, 40 years ago, they would have said you had some quirks.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Now we know.
Now we know, see?
It's just the Lisdexia or whatever you want to call it. All right. Also, I never got one, by the way. I never got one of these. No more.
Are you able to say that on the air? I guess now, because there's the temporary injunction.
Yeah. So no more 10 Commandments in the classroom.
Did you get one?
Did you?
A poster for your room? 10 Commandments poster? Because it's supposed to take effect September 1st.
Yeah, and we never got one.
Yeah.
I kept asking for mine, and it just kept going. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that they were waiting for this moment.
You teach it in one of your classes because you teach Hammurabi and all that, right?
Yeah.
What class is that you teach? World history.
Yeah. We just talked about Sharia law and had lots of questions about that because it's kind of prevalent right now in our area.
By the way, to throw that in, we talked earlier this year about that Epic Ranch up in Josephine, Texas, the East Plano Islamic Center neighborhood they were going to only allow Islamic people to live in. They have changed the name.
I saw that.
Try to spin it. It's now the Meadows.
Ooh.
Sounds more inviting than East Plano Islamic Center. in Josephine, of all places.
Josephine. We talked about this. They tried that before, just north of the old school there, and it didn't work out very well. Just not a whole lot at that time when they tried it. It didn't really work out very well. But so while we're on that topic, did you see that Greg Abbott signed a order to investigate the Islamic Brothers? Yeah. That's a wait and see for me.
It was the Islamic Brotherhood and
there was
CARE,
but I don't remember what the acronym was.
It's the acronym is CARE. It's CAR. I just forget what it stands for. And he designated both of those as domestic terror organizations. So
I don't know what that means. Could have called it right. That's what it stood for. Yeah, that's what it was called. Oh, okay. No.
What dumb thing did he do last week that we called him out for? No, it was 2 weeks ago. It was the tariffs on New Yorkers moving here.
Yeah. You texted.
I feel like he is
Trump
kind of like the Cowboys today.
I don't know where you're going with this, but
he's running. Like, he says he's going to run for governor again.
He's not running, Clint.
But he's got to.
He's not running.
He's got to be governor. He's got to stand.
He's hot willing it.
Stop.
Those are his words.
That is true. That's true. Got to call it out. When I sent you that picture, I thought, I hope he knows I didn't put that poster on there. Like, that's actually his thing. But anyway, he's embracing it, whatever. But he's got to run for governor so he can stay in office. But he's running for president, but he's just like messing up at every turn.
Yep. Like, he's
trying to ride coattails. He's trying, like the dumb thing he was trying to tariff everybody moving from New York.
That's a question we need to ask.
Just so he could use the word tariff.
Yeah. Yes, to the Twitch. You still have to say the Pledge of Allegiance in high school classrooms. Do you at elementaries, middle school? Yeah, and we say the Texas Pledge. Do you know the Texas Pledge?
You shouldn't make me do that.
Oh, come on. Do you? I know those two know it. I know it. Honor the Texas flag.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. There
That's
you go.
That's it. Yeah, sounds good to me.
And then you have the people who are not from Texas who go like this. But if you're born from Texas, you put your hand over your heart. Yeah.
Well, I like that.
Yeah.
I've said before, I think every state should have to teach Texas history.
I know. I agree with that 100%. I need to ask my buddy from Wisconsin. He listens. He doesn't Twitch, but I'll have to text him and ask because he's a school teacher too. He teaches 5th grade. Do y'all say the pledge to the Wisconsin flag?
Do they even have one?
They do. They do have a flag, but I don't know if they have.
I know they have a flag. That's what I mean. But do they even have a pledge?
I don't know. I'll text him and see if they do, and maybe he'll get back to us in the episode. If not, I'll
you gotta
give an update.
We were our own country before. Okay, we're different. Our Capitol building is taller than the Washington D.C. Capitol building.
Yes, I did know that. I don't know. This is going to be totally left field. Mostly the texts that I text him are just about deer hunting.
So random.
So random. Yeah.
See what we get back.
All right. So how are we going to do this?
We need to I need to reset, move some chairs, but so I don't know if the Twitch just wants to hang out and see us reset the set,
Twitch.
But we got about a minute.
So I did get feedback from my friend.
Okay.
He said that they only say the pledge to the American flag.
But because they don't have a pledge, we just learned this.
Yeah, we did some research in the break there that we only. Yeah, that's different. I didn't tell you about that, by the way. I did a DJ thing, like a DJ Smitty.
Yeah.
And it's a side gig.
That's so original for your name.
I know, right? And I was so nervous.
He was calling out names, and he was literally shaking. I had to hold the paper, and I'm the shaky one.
And I was like so nervous because I don't want to, like, it's a playoff game, and I didn't want to mess up their names, and I definitely didn't want to, like, ruin their moment,
Yeah.
Because I know how mad I get whenever that happens to us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna explain what we're doing here?
Yeah. So these are our spouses, and with episode 50, we decided to do a little post celebration after this to go out to dinner, and so we thought, well, let's have them on for little smoke sessions. And what we do is with smoke sessions is that I kind of bring some news or quirky news to Clint and get his response to that. So the first one of the day, I did put it on there. I put on there is that Friends has started to release all of their new, well, not new, but like they released a bunch of episodes from Joey onto YouTube. Are we interested in that?
But why Joey?
I don't know. That was just that's just the thing that they did.
He's still alive.
Wasn't that the spinoff though?
Yeah.
Didn't they have? Is it so? It's not Friends. Is it the spinoff? It's not Friends. It's the spinoff.
Yeah. So it's just a spinoff, and it's just the 2 seasons that were never aired from that.
See, I never watched Friends, so I know
She's a baby though.
I'm
She's
not
younger than us.
Okay, just a little bit.
I didn't know that going into this. Yeah, so when we first got married, we got married really young at 19. Young and dumb. And we were dumb. Not dumb in the decisions.
Yeah, that sounds bad though.
Not young, young, dumb, and broke. That song. That's that song. And so we had purchased like the box series of Friends. So all episodes of Friends were on this DVD set. And what we did is that's all we had because we couldn't afford normal TV. We didn't have an antenna. So all we did was we just watched Friends every single night. That was it.
Speaking of antenna, because we talked about this on the last episode, I told you I turned off our Hulu.
Yeah.
So I put the antenna. I had one in the attic when we first moved in, but I moved it out and put it on the roof so it'd get better reception. And we have been watching football for the first time. Like last week we were watching it. It was still on the Hulu Plus, but cut that because they raised the price again.
Yep.
So, and it's been great. Like we get all the channels. We got all the TVs hooked up. So this is free. I was paying $100 a month to watch this game. Now I'm just paying nothing.
So ours dies out tomorrow.
Okay.
Ours gets cut off tomorrow.
Were you YouTube or your
Direct TV stream?
Yes.
Yeah. So I ordered one today and it'll be there tomorrow. So when it goes out tomorrow, I can just hook it back up.
Yeah, you just go online and it's like antennaweb.com. So you can point it. Basically, you just point it towards Cedar Hill. That's where all the antennas are.
Okay.
From my house, it's 232 degrees. Yours will be a little different. But anyway.
Okay.
You nerd out about that a little bit. Yeah.
So I didn't put the questions, though, that we were going to ask them. Do you have them on your phone? I have them here. Okay, so here's the first question. These are not current event things, but these are just fun questions for educational people. What's one? We'll go to Brittany first, and you'll get the first question. And then we'll come to her because I got to move my mic over. What's one thing different in teaching you did pre-COVID versus today?
One thing I did differently,
or that is different in general.
I think the kids are definitely different. I don't know if I've because my content doesn't change. I teach history, so I'm like you. It doesn't change because it's already done and over. I think I've definitely had to be more flexible in how I teach it, though. So, my approach has changed because the kids have changed.
Yeah, I agree. I think social is the biggest thing that's changed, especially for the young ones I teach, 3rd grade. And this year, the kindergarten group are the COVID babies. And
yeah, that's our kid.
Oh, wow.
Well, both of our kids.
Wow. It's different. So I think that's the biggest thing is having to go back and really you don't have social skills classes anymore. You're teaching it to everyone because there was so much that was missed.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I think too, the patience that you have to have because you're no longer just a teacher. You're also a counselor. You're which you were kind of that before. That had kind of already started. But I think too, you're also seeing this the pandemic change the way that the parents see education now. In the state of Texas, it was a little bit different than others. We have a ton of kids that are coming from outside of the state that moved in in 2022. And there were several kids that hadn't been in school since March of 2020. And so that not only was there huge educational gaps, but there was also huge social gaps. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me, at least at the high school level.
Yeah, I would say public speaking for kids in front of a class, because I teach middle school, was already a struggle because you're in that weird, awkward phase. But now it's deathly afraid of. I'm very thankful I don't teach English or communications classes because I don't know how they do that. If we have a project where they're having to present, it is pulling teeth doesn't begin to describe it.
They don't care quite as much yet, so they don't mind standing up and especially if you let them pick a buddy.
Oh yeah,
support. I always tell them pick your support pal. They can stand, so they haven't really entered that yet.
Okay, question number 2. You got to talk more into the microphone though. It's cutting out. No, it's okay. It's okay. You're learning. You're just a baby. All right. What age did you know you wanted to be a teacher?
I think I always wanted to be a teacher, but then I turned 18, graduated from high school, and was like, oh, no, I'm going to make money. And so I didn't do the education route. I did everything else. I actually graduated with 220 hours when you only need 120. So I dabbled in a whole lot of different things, but then went back to education.
Okay, I'm the bona fide normal teacher response. I wanted to be a teacher since I was 8. When my parents were like, no, being a singer is going to be too hard. You need a real job.
Wait, can you sing?
Not as well as I could before.
Yes, we had a friend's birthday party last night and we did karaoke, and yes, she still got it.
We'll show y'all those videos not on the screen. Yeah.
That's a fun fact. I didn't know that.
So, but I mean, I haven't vocally trained since not even high school. Well, yeah, because I went to Greenville through freshman year. So that was the last time I was in a vocal class.
She can sing too. She doesn't like to, but she can sing.
I am a choir. I don't like to solo sing. I can stand with people and sing.
Both of my parents were teachers. So I kind of always knew that I wanted to teach. I just didn't know what capacity. And I told somebody the other day, I was like, man, I think I told Clint, I was like, I did not get to high school quick enough. I love it at the high school. And they're they're quirky, but also they're trying to figure out their lives at this point and what's next. And you can have a little bit more real conversations. And like, I think, yeah, but
we had a Miss Smith come to Jesus talk life lesson the other day. We did. Should I share the life lesson? So I was trying to teach, and the office called, and I answered the phone, and she's like, I have a very angry mom on the phone right now, and she's saying that y'all are going on a field trip and y'all are not allowing parents to go, but she saw on Facebook that the other elementaries just went on their field trip and their parents got to go. So she's just letting our secretary have it. I'm like, first of all, we don't even have a field trip planned. We sent out a survey the first month of school because we were thinking about doing medieval times, that kind of thing, but it was expensive. And so we were kind of seeing like what, the parents felt about it. And it was like, so she doesn't even really know what she's talking about, but she's really, really mad and blah. So all this other stuff. So there, of course, my entire class is staring at me while I'm having to like explain like, no, that's not the correct information, blah, blah, blah. And so I hang up the phone and they're all just staring. And I'm like, let's just have a life lesson right here. Like, it's okay to get heated and upset and mad when you see something. But like, before you call and take it out on somebody else and then make yourself end up really, this lady looks really silly now.
Mm-hmm.
Check your facts out. Like, ask some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at another Facebook. Ask a friend, phone a friend, whatever. Just don't automatically lash out at somebody because somebody's mommy now looks really silly.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, But yeah, I do like we have real talks like that all the time. And then I'll tell them, like, have you ever gotten mad at a friend before you asked questions? And so, like, you relate it to that. But, like, if they don't start you learning in second and third grade, then, yeah.
Then by the time they get to me and you, we're screwed.
I was more talking about, like, are you sure you want to date that guy for the 17th time?
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure? Because,
I do.
the last 16 times that didn't work out very well. And then I told said student, I said, okay, that's a decision you're making. But if you're going to make it, don't come crying for an extension whenever it doesn't work out very well. That's kind of where I was going. But also the other thing that kids don't do, and our kids are atrocious at this, is not knowing when your parent is on the phone. Don't talk to them.
Or in the middle of a conversation with another adult.
Yes. And that's a conversation we have in our household all the time. I'm
Daily.
sure the same for y'all.
Daily.
So, all right, this one is, I don't know if this one applies to you, and I know it applies to both of us. But question number 3, did you teach your kids, and do you want to have them in your class?
Oh, I have our middle school daughter in my class right now, actually.
How's that going?
It depends on the day of the week. And I also homeschooled them for 4 years. So, it's been good. It's funny though, disciplining her because she does have like friends in my class. So it's like, I have to give her the mom look. But it's also, it works out for me too, because I don't have to like be like, hey, so-and-so over there, stop talking. I can just look at her and it's a completely different reaction than I do trying to control the rest of the class. So she's never wanted me before though. I've actually taught her grade level for the past 2 years, and she has 6th grade and 7th grade been like, no, I do not want your class. And so this year she was like, no, I actually want to be in your class. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's do it.
This has actually been a topic of discussion because next year our son will be in my grade, and we do partners. So like, my partner teaches reading and then I teach math. So it's been the discussion that he really wants to be in our pod, and I'm just not sure because that's my little baby, and and he's gonna want me to like hold him all day, and we're in 3rd grade, and we can't do that. So I don't know. He wouldn't be my homeroom, definitely.
Yeah.
But we had my partner's daughter though.
Okay.
And she was my homeroom, so she was only with her mom for
a little
reading.
bit. Yeah.
It was like an hour and 10 minutes or whatever day. And that worked out great. So I don't know. We'll see.
I have taught our oldest daughter 6th, 8th, and then 3 years in high school. She was in my class. Yes. So let me give some advice to people who don't understand how teachers' kids work. Is they know everything about everybody, and that's a hard it's a hard thing to do, right? Because not only does she have friends and like her friends know who I am outside of school, but then also like when you're in the room, you're no longer just dad. You have to be a little bit more than that, and that's a hard line. And like you said a while ago, I never had any issues with her, and she was a little bit older. Like when I was in 6th grade, it was like trying to establish like norms for the class because they had never had like a real social studies class in 6th grade.
Yeah.
So it was a different than when I got to 8th grade. Then I went to a tested subject. So that's a lot more rigor, and you like have to, there's a very, very strict timeline. And then when I got to high school, I was in world history. I taught her in world history, and that's a lot less rigor. Like the rigor's there, but it's not as strict as a timeline. So like if we want to take a couple days on a project, we could. So that was the interesting part about it. But coaching your kid is a totally different animal versus teaching your kid. Like when I was I was an assistant coach for one of the teams she was on, and then I was actually the head coach of one of the teams she was on. The head coach one was difficult because like going into the year, we kind of had several conversations like it's going to be difficult on both of us, and I'm going to have to get on to you in ways that you've never been gotten onto by me before. And so like we're at a tournament and she's just playing terrible. I mean, just absolutely terrible. And and I just like the whole group was playing bad, and she was one of the leaders of the team, and she was playing an important part of the team, and it wasn't like I could move her out of that role. And so I call a timeout and I turn my back to the team and I just rip her. And I like coach dad line was definitely crossed, and I like talked to her like I was like, that's my daughter, not my player, because I definitely said some things I wouldn't have said to a normal player. And she fixed it, and it worked. And even today she would tell you, she was like, that was really hard, Dad, you shouldn't have said that. But I did, and you know, it's one of those things where like you always micromanage your thoughts and what you're going to say to your own child more than you would say that, you know, you kind of have to be careful sometimes too, because it's like, that's a whole nother level of thing. Yeah. And I've coached our youngest daughter too, but not quite at that level yet. No, this was like 10 and 11-year-old volleyball. And then I'm coaching my son too. So we'll see how that works out. I don't know if I'll still be coaching by the time he gets to high school. We'll see where that plays out. I'd love to coach boys volleyball at some point, but
Boys volleyball?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
If you've never watched boys volleyball, you need to. It is
Okay.
awesome. This is like, yeah, some of the tournaments that we've gone to for our oldest. They'll have the boys division playing, and it's just like they're jumping above the net. I mean, it's in the pace of it. I mean, volleyball is already a fast-paced game anyway, but the boys is even faster.
Huh.
And he loves volleyball. Of course, that's all he's been around.
Right. That's how our kids are with soccer.
Yeah.
So, let's see what else we got here. I think that's kind of it as far as the things go. I want to thank both of you on the pod, because I know having your husbands gone for what started out as an hour and a half turns into sometimes 3.5 hours on a Sunday night. With this little project that we got going, it's 50 episodes is a big deal in the podcasting world. I know it's kind of a small thing, and we have some big things planned going forward that I know both of you are actively supporting and don't fully always understand exactly what we're doing, but I know that it matters to me a lot, and I thank you both for that. So that's kind of it for me.
Ditto what you just said, and I have a smoke sessions question.
Okay.
Whenever we finish recording the pod, or just any other time, do you like the smell of cigar smoke on us?
Well, I'll let Colby go first because you already know my answer.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I like it. I'm fine with it.
Sometimes some cigars are better than others, though.
Oh,
Sometimes they can smell. I don't like the stale old man cigar smell.
no, we're pro flavor.
Yes, yes. Some of them, yes, smell very good.
I don't like flavored cigars anymore, and we've talked about this before. But the ones I've been smoking lately are more Maduro than Connecticut, and they are a lot stronger. They're a lot stronger smell. So, anything else?
Nope.
Do y'all have big plans for Thanksgiving?
Not really. I mean, just we are going to do some fun stuff with the kids. We were going to leave today, and we were going to go down to Austin and for a couple nights and just hang out with the kids and like do some fun stuff during the day, and then kind of come back to the Airbnb and like play Phase 10 or Sequence or something. Let's, have some fun family time just to kind of away from the house so we can be more intentional about it. But then it's going to rain. Like it's going to start raining here in a couple hours, and it's going to rain down in Austin. And we're like, Austin's a very outdoor city.
Right.
And I've been there before for like work reasons in the rain, and it's not fun in the rain. So we're going to do some stuff around here. Funny thing, like a couple of things we wanted to do in Austin, like we have the same thing up here.
Yeah.
Like over in Frisco and things like that. So we're going to, a couple days this week before Thanksgiving, going to do some fun stuff with the kids. And then, we'll eat some good food, and that'll be that. We're thinking about taking my oldest to the UNT game on Friday. UNT's got a great season this year.
They lost last week.
Yeah, they've lost one, but they're playing Tulane.
That's supposed to be a good game.
Which is the other team is ranked about the same as them.
Yeah,
and so like they're not going to get in the playoff. They're ranked like 23rd.
Right.
They're not ranked in the college football poll, but they are ranked in the AP and the coaches poll, like around 22, 23. But that'll be a good game. So I might take her to that. It's a Friday afternoon game.
Nice.
But no big plans. We finished our Christmas decorating. We
have
slacked a little
started.
bit. Oh man.
Oh, I meant to tell you. Colby brought this up. What did you say was in the arch?
A mistletoe.
Yes.
Who put that there?
Oh, he put that there. He has been working on that arch. I was telling her when y'all got here. So a couple years ago, it started as a Halloween arch, and it has just evolved now to an all holiday arch. It changes colors, and it has adapted styles, and the neighborhood loves it.
Does it stay up year round?
No, I take it. It comes up for Halloween, which is like Halloween lights, and I had these music boxes on there that would play scary sounds, and people would walk by, and it has cobwebs on it and all that kind of stuff. Then on November 1st, all the cobwebs come down. It changes to Christmas lights. We put garland and holly on it and a mistletoe. But I have even bigger plans for next year.
Oh. I mean, it could stay up year round. It could become it could be a February, like Valentine's Day.
No,
Easter,
ma'am.
St. Patrick's, you could do green lights.
Yes, I could do something all year round.
4th of July.
Yeah.
I mean, it's endless.
Yeah, until somebody tells me no.
No.
I think you could also do like the goose. Have you seen this? The goose that like changes its outfit.
Yes, it's a classroom goose. But take it back where we lived in Sulphur Springs. There was this house on one of the main streets to go into town. I mean, and this has been 10 years ago or more. That she had a goose. And for every holiday, it was dressed like that. So she is the OG goose lady. And I don't know her name, but yeah, she should get credit.
Well, for next year, I'm reinforcing it. It's even after a couple years, it needs some stronger stuff. So it's getting rebuilt. After this year, for some like pipe, like legit. And then
are we gonna weld it?
No.
Oh, okay.
And then
no. Well, I meant like collectively the podcast. No, I can't weld.
I can weld. Actually, I was an ag in high school. Yes, I have some
a singer
scars to
and
prove
a
it.
welder.
But the big thing I'm adding to it next year is both for Halloween and like Christmas, like with the mistletoe, I'm going to add a kiss cam where you snap the QR code.
Are you sure you want to see everything that might come on your kiss cam?
Well, now you got to say something like that. That's a good point.
This is troubleshooting.
That's a good point. I literally had the idea yesterday.
Some people get weird.
That's true. No, yeah.
You ruined his excitement about it.
Be the realist here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm thankful for it.
What you got to do this for?
Yeah, we
It's ingrained.
yeah, it's ingrained in our heads. It was the 67th day of school on Friday, Thursday or Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all day. They had shirts,
Oh my god.
everything. Yeah, yeah, crazy.
I need to put a note in, like, for episode 100, and we can talk about if 6-7 is still a thing.
Okay.
If it lasted.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
I'm hoping the trend dies off pretty quick, but it has stayed around a lot longer than I thought it would.
It is dying in middle school, I will say. Like, in middle school, they're definitely, like, there's the kids that are hanging on tight, and then there's the kids that are like, I'm really over that. And I am thankful for it.
The world is healing.
We're going down to on Friday. This is something we've done this once before. We go down to San Antonio to the Riverwalk and we do the parade of lights. You guys should check it out. I think you would like it. It's a very family oriented. Word to the wise: get a row that is only one row. Don't get the double to where there's two chairs there. You only want one.
We were the front row the first year with people behind us, and your chair is literally, of course, if you fall in, you just stand up. It's not really a river, but with a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old, of course, our oldest was the most nervous about it all. I don't really but that's just, she's our cautious one. But yeah, you're literally on the edge of your seat. So if somebody behind you decided to like kick your chair, you could be in it. So this year we have the single row, so we don't have to worry about that. So
Good to know.
I'll give you an update when we get back.
Can't wait for it.
But yeah, it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get away for a little while and just kind of hang out.
Favorite Thanksgiving food?
Oh,
said though is when you do go away, it makes it more intentional. Because when you're at home, you get distracted by, I need to clean the house. I need to do that. I mean, you do need to clean
Well, and they
the
have their
house,
friends here in the neighborhood and all
Right.
of that too. And so like it's harder to be like, they just want to go ride bikes with their friends. And I'm like, no, let's sit around and play Phase 10 like a family, And like they're like, no, Dad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I'm so thankful that they do have their friends in the neighborhood because they're not just sitting indoors watching TV. Like, they are outside being active. They're making those core memories. So I think even just being a staycation, we've got some intentional stuff planned, and I think it'll be good. And I mean, I want to travel. I want to go do stuff, but dang, I want a break too.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're traveling with 6 kids, like 3 kids even.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm feeling because I'm thinking 3. Of course, when one of ours now, she can, she fends for herself, but it's a lot.
And you're like, don't forget this, don't forget that.
Yeah.
So, but. Oh yeah, you asked a question. I don't have a favorite something that I can think of because there was a spur of the moment question, but I would just like to mention, because you'll understand this, Kyle, because you used to work at my school. I won Turkey Bowl this year. Shut up. I mean, okay, given I won 3rd place, but
wait,
hey,
but you were
the
on the
top
board.
The top 7 get turkeys, so I got a turkey for free.
a whole turkey?
A whole damn turkey.
Oh no! Yeah, she beeped it.
Oh,
It wasn't me.
is that bad?
They don't have their ears in, but I hit our censor button.
Yeah,
It's fine. That word's okay.
that's okay.
I told you.
Mine is green bean casserole. Like, of course, I like turkey and ham, but I love me some.
And I love green beans.
Oh my
but
goodness,
I do not.
I
like
love
green
it so
bean
much. I'll tell you how much I love it. We had a Friendsgiving last week, and I made some green bean casserole, and a good 60% of it was gone out of the big 5-pound pan that I made of it. I kind of nibbled on a little bit, but there's a good whole corner chunk, like a quarter of the pan left. I ate that thing in one sitting. I love that stuff.
I make green bean casserole. Do you put bacon and bacon grease
I
in
have
your
before.
green bean casserole?
I have sometimes before. This time, I wanted the kids to eat it better, so I didn't, because I'll do the saute the onions and the bacon grease, and I didn't put any of that in there this time. It's pretty much straight.
Yeah.
But I still will eat that stuff like crazy. I love it.
Do you go straight cream and mushroom?
Mm-hmm.
I have to half and half it
With some milk.
No,
I
I
cut
do
it-
cream of chicken one and then cream of mushroom because
I do all cream of mushroom, but I cut it with milk.
Kyle hates mushrooms.
Oh, you don't taste it.
That's what I tell him.
Mushrooms
But
are
I
good
still
for you.
go half and half for him.
Yeah, not in cream of mushroom. You ain't gonna taste that.
I beg to differ.
You would find the one little chunk of mushroom.
And then I'd call you Benjamin.
Mine is Rudy's corn and mac and cheese. It's a equal there. So she makes
like
bomb
dressing.
mac and cheese and dressing. Honestly, I like it all.
Depends on who's making the dressing.
Oh,
But yes.
cornbread dressing or crunchy bread or whatever. it's
No,
called.
so my mom does half and half cornbread and white bread dressing. And it's my mama's recipe. It's like how he eats green bean casserole, I could eat probably
me.
an entire sheet pan of this stuff. And I would not feel bad about it.
Yeah.
I could too. I'm changing my vote.
Yeah.
But it's that specific dressing, not just any dressing.
So
That one.
I make my grandma's dressing, and it's cornbread, like regular cornbread dressing. And it's nothing special, but she would also boil eggs and dissect the egg whites, not the yolks.
Because they've been forced to cook for themselves for a hot minute. And then they appreciate it a little bit more. And so I love it when he cooks.
appreciate
Hold on, I do appreciate it.
Well, no, but he's also like, he's perfected it himself. Like, he can do it.
Yeah.
And he's really, really good at it. Like, I prefer him cooking.
I don't think it's so much of that as I spent 10 years in the restaurant business.
That is
making
true.
all kinds of food.
Yes,
so
you did. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I forget it. But also, I knew he made cute kids. So,
Yeah.
I make cute kids and barbecue.
Absolutely not at the same time.
That's gonna
no.
that's gonna be the title of the episode.
Cute kids and barbecue.
We got it.
I make you kids. Have a great weekend.
See you.